This is volume 3 of Rob's weak side back attack system. What are we doing in this volume?
In this volume, we're going to be working on how to trap the arm. And this is something that, if you've been watching MMA for a while, you've seen BJ Penn do multiple times. You've seen Marcelo Garcia, I think I got his name right, do this on multiple occasions. This is something that I used to struggle with a lot because, frankly, I'm not that flexible. And certainly the method, particularly that BJ Penn uses, and then you see, this is not a secret technique. Everyone teaches push the arm down, trap it with your leg. So I think I've got something that will help people who aren't super flexible trap the arm.
But certainly flexibility is an aspect.
It's certainly going to help, yeah. I mean, I'll be honest, I still struggle to trap the arm because of the lack of leg dexterity. This has helped immensely, though. Before it was impossible. Now I can do it.
Okay.
So, over here. So, we've got ourselves, again, let's just slide it down just a tiny bit. There we go. Okay. So, again, stepping on the hip, transferring, controlling the top shoulder with some variation of this.
Which we covered in the last video.
Which we covered in the last video, exactly. So now I want to trap this arm with this leg. Normally, if we were just on the weak side here, and I'm trying to throw this leg, again, it's possible if I'm really dexterous with my legs. But if somebody's really doing a good job being diligent and not allowing me to get here, there's a certain level of flexibility required below which it just won't work. If I have this angle here, so I've controlled the hip, I've tucked in to make sure that this shoulder can't get to the mat, and I've created a lever-based control on this side. Now, ideally, well, I shouldn't say ideally, optimally for him, he's going to be connecting his hands. All right. If he doesn't connect his hands and his arms are separated, then I'm just immediately going to the armbar. So once we get this foot across, and we have some kind of internal rotation or some kind of lever-based control here, it's in our partner's best interest to connect their hands. So we can kind of take that as a given. If they don't connect their hands, then we're simply catching the end of the lever, pushing the head away, breaking the posture, and attacking the armbar, which we're going to get into a little bit later. So we're going to start with the presumption that our partner is connecting their hands because they're wary of that threat as we present it. We're going to make sure that our hip is at enough of an angle. Our leg that's not controlling the hip is creating a kickstand to push our partner onto their side a little bit more. And then I want to be able to bring my hamstring and back of my knee over top of your shoulder. So instead of using an external rotation of the hip motion to try to bring my heel in on your forearm, I'm just doing a leg press.
So you no longer need to do the full lotus.
Exactly. So, let's say double motorcycle grip is happening. The more I'm able to lift this top arm to create a pocket, the better. So for this particular attack, the double motorcycle grip is favorable because I'll be able to pull this up a little bit. All right? So when I pull this up and I bring my hamstring over top of your shoulder to create a shoulder cap, I can put my heel in your wrist. The crook of the bicep works all right, but the problem with that is it's the end of the lever to the shoulder, but it's not the end of the lever to the wrist. So it's acting as a hinge at this point. Right? I want to be able to try to get my foot in here to create the break. Right? When I want to create the break, there are a couple of things that I can kind of mess around with. The half Nelson really breaks posture. So this is one of the reasons that I favor it if I can get it. Because if I'm here and you're particularly strong, yeah, it can still be difficult to kick this free. But once I get here and I break your posture, this weakens your kinetic chain, as we've discussed in the Core Concepts app. And now I've isolated your arm. I can track my foot to the inside of your hip and ribs, creating, because if I just try to do this, sometimes you'll be able to flip your arm out. If I just cross my ankles over, given enough time, you will get your arm back in there. But if I've got my foot across and I tuck my foot in underneath, then there's no way you're getting that arm back.
So your instep is against the small of my back. There's no way I can find that hole there.
Exactly. Now again, I can choose any number of attacks. We're going to go over how to attack the chokes a little bit later. But once I've got this, once I've trapped the arm, the options are to continue on into the arm bar. Right? So I can come around like this, sit you up, block your arm, finish with the arm bar. Alternately, you can move to the triangle. Again, we're going to go over in greater detail all the different finishes once we've gotten this to occur, or we're in the process of getting this to occur. The most important thing for this video is just getting here and how do we maintain that control, which is keeping our foot tucked in, keeping this extension of the arm, and then whatever attacks we want to go to. All right, so once again, I highly recommend when you're learning something new, especially when you're drilling it, that you go through an auditory cue, or you can even just say it in your head, but go through the steps. So step on the hip, cover the hip, tuck in, control the shoulder, break posture if possible, angle your hip out, stomp on the wrist, bringing the back of your knee and hamstring over the shoulder so that you're creating a leg press, and then tuck your foot underneath the hip or ribs, doing a slight kind of inward, Suzanne Summers Thigh Master style movement here to maintain the control of the shoulder. And then you can go back to whichever grip is most favorable for the attack you're going to choose.
Obviously what you just saw is on YouTube, but it's part of a larger series on the weak side back attacks that Rob and I did together as an addendum to the BJJ Formula. So if you want that entire weak side back attack module for free, just download the Grapple Arts BJJ Master app at grapplearts.com/master app. Open up the BJJ Formula and you'll see the entire weak side back attack module with all the videos for free. You can download them, you can stream them, you can carry around in your pocket, you can get better jiu-jitsu as you commute to work.